Retro Road Test, Nissan 100NX vs Vauxhall Tigra, 1995. It's caught here. If you like my content and feel able to, please do like it or follow my blogs, Spotify and YouTube channels or Facebook channel. It would mean and help an awful lot. Thank you. https://korg9000.wordpress.com/ Retro Road Test, Nissan 100NX vs Vauxhall Tigra, 1995. Sports car looks, super mini budgets and enough compromises to keep an osteopath in business. The mid-1990s were an odd time for the affordable coupe. Hot hatchbacks had become so capable that buyers no longer needed a coupe to go quickly, yet manufacturers were convinced there was still a market for cars that looked sporty, even if they shared most of their oily bits with the family hatchback parked next to them in the showroom. Enter our contestants. In one corner sits the Nissan 100NX, a slightly eccentric Japanese coupe with removable glass roof panels, hidden ambitions and styling that looks as though someone left a Nissan Sunny in the tumble dryer. Facing it is the Vauxhall Tigra, the fashionable newcomer based on the humble Corsa, aimed squarely at younger buyers who wanted something stylish without paying Toyota Celica money, or the insurance premiums that came with it. Neither is especially fast. Neither is especially practical. Both, however, promise to inject a little glamour into the daily commute. So, which deserves your hard-earned pound 13,000 odd in 1995? Let's find out. The looks. Beauty, as ever, depends on whether you've just come from the pub. The Nissan 100NX arrived before retro curves became fashionable, meaning it has that unmistakable early 90s Japanese aerodynamic style. Rounded nose, pop-up free headlights, chunky rear end and, most interestingly, removable T-top style glass roof panels. It isn't conventionally handsome, but it's certainly distinctive. People either think it's futuristic or mistake it for something imported from another planet. The Tigra, meanwhile, is positively glamorous by Vauxhall standards. Designer Hideo Kodama produced a car that looks remarkably close to the concept car from which it evolved. The roofline flows neatly into a pert rear end, while the wraparound glass gives it almost concept car proportions. It's rather cute. Perhaps a little feminine according to some blokes in the dog and duck, but those same people still think mullets are acceptable, so we'll move swiftly on. Winner. Tigra. It simply looks fresher and more cohesive. Cabin. Open the Nissan's door and you're greeted by a Nissan Sunny. Which isn't necessarily criticism. Everything is solidly screwed together, the switchgear works beautifully and visibility is excellent. Ergonomically, it's textbook Japanese. Excitement, however, is in rather short supply. Grey plastics abound, although the driving position is low and sporty enough to make you forgive the dashboard's resemblance to an office photocopier. The removable roof panels brighten proceedings considerably. On a sunny afternoon they transform the car from ordinary coupe into miniatura. Providing, of course, you've remembered where you left the roof bags. The Tigra feels newer. Its dashboard is lifted almost wholesale from the latest Corsa, but that's no bad thing. Advertisement. Privacy settings. Curvier shapes, more modern instruments and generally more cheerful surroundings make it feel a more expensive car than it actually is. Rear accommodation. Let's be honest. Both manufacturers insist these are four-seaters. Both manufacturers are optimistic. The rear seats are ideal for children, shopping bags or anyone you particularly dislike. Adults can fit. Briefly. Performance. Here's where reality begins to intrude. Nissan 100NX 1.6 SR. 1,597 cc DOC 16 valve. 90 bhp. 0 to 60 miles per hour, around 10.5 seconds. Top speed, 112 miles per hour. Vauxhall Tigra 1.6 16V. 1,598 cc Ecotec. 106 bhp. 0 to 60 miles per hour, around 9.5 seconds. Top speed, 126 miles per hour. On paper, the Tigra enjoys a healthy advantage. Its Ecotec engine is smoother, more powerful and noticeably keener above 4,000 rpm. Advertisement. Privacy settings. The Nissan isn't exactly slow, but neither is it particularly enthusiastic. It accelerates with polite determination rather than sporting enthusiasm. The Tigra actually feels eager. Not enough to trouble genuine sports cars, but enough to put a smile on your face joining a motorway slip road. Neither will set your trousers on fire. But only one occasionally makes you grin. Handling. This is where expectations need careful management. The Nissan rides on sunny underpinnings, which means predictable front-wheel drive handling, decent steering feel and plenty of grip. Body roll exists. Understeer appears when provoked. Lift-off oversteer enthusiasts should probably buy something French. The ride quality is commendably supple, soaking up Britain's increasingly cratered roads without complaint. The Tigra feels slightly firmer. Turn-in is sharper, steering quicker and the whole car feels more alert. Unfortunately, once you've discovered that, there's not much else hiding underneath. It's competent rather than thrilling. Think enthusiastic Labrador rather than Border Collie. Still enjoyable, but hardly razor sharp. Advertisement. Privacy settings. Neither could be described as a sports car. They're sporty-looking hatchbacks. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't expect Lotus Elan levels of finesse. Refinement. Japanese engineering scores heavily here. The Nissan is impressively quiet at motorway speeds. Wind noise is modest, engine noise subdued and long-distance cruising surprisingly relaxing. Even with the roof panels fitted, refinement is excellent. Remove them and things naturally become breezier. The Tigra suffers slightly from tire roar on coarser surfaces and the Ecotec engine makes itself heard when worked hard. Nothing offensive, merely noticeable. Long journeys. The Nissan feels happier. Equipment. The Nissan offers decent specification for the money. Electric windows. Electric mirrors. Advertisement. Privacy settings. Power steering. Central locking. Sunroof, or rather, 2 removable roof panels. Decent stereo. The Tigra counters with similarly generous equipment, often including driver's airbag, alloy wheels and attractive trim depending upon model. Both manufacturers understand that image buyers appreciate toys. Call it honors even. Economy. The Nissan averages around 38 miles per gallon, while the Tigra generally returns 36 to 38 miles per gallon depending on enthusiasm. Insurance. Neither is ruinous. Servicing. Nissan's reputation for reliability remains legendary. Vauxhall servicing is widespread and inexpensive. Running costs are comfortably manageable. Reliability. Here's where Japanese engineering earns its reputation. The Nissan feels as though it'll survive nuclear winter. Advertisement. Privacy settings. Switches click with reassuring precision. Doors shut with satisfying solidity. Everything feels engineered rather than assembled. The Tigra isn't unreliable, but it doesn't possess quite the same feeling of indestructibility. Early Ecotech engines occasionally develop minor niggles, while interior trim isn't quite as robust. Nothing disastrous. Just less Japanese. Practicality. This category resembles two bald men fighting over a comb. The Nissan's hatchback makes loading easier than expected. Fold the rear seats and it's surprisingly usable. The roof panels, however, need storing somewhere. Guess where? Exactly. In the boot. The Tigra's boot is respectable until you actually try fitting anything awkward inside. The swooping rear window limits access considerably. It looks fabulous. Your flat-pack wardrobe disagrees. Advertisement. Privacy settings. Image. This may actually matter. The Tigra is currently one of Britain's most fashionable small coupés. You'll find them outside colleges, shopping centres and trendy wine bars. It has genuine showroom appeal. The Nissan is more niche. Buyers appreciate its engineering rather than its fashion credentials. 5 years from now, one suspects the Nissan may age more gracefully. Fashion rarely does. Living with them. After a week behind the wheel, certain personalities emerge. The Nissan is like that dependable friend who always turns up on time. It never causes drama. It simply gets on with things efficiently while occasionally allowing you to remove the roof and enjoy the sunshine. The Tigra is rather more extrovert. People notice it. It feels younger. More playful. Less mature. Whether that's good depends entirely on your age, or how old you admit to being. Advertisement. Privacy settings. Verdict. These two cars approach the affordable coupe from different directions. The Nissan 100NX majors on engineering, reliability and everyday usability. It isn't especially exciting, but it feels beautifully built and those removable glass roof panels genuinely add something different. The Vauxhall Tigra wins hearts rather than minds. It's prettier, faster and possesses considerably more showroom glamour. It may not be a true sports car, but it succeeds brilliantly as an image-led lifestyle coupe. If your priority is dependable ownership with occasional open-air motoring, the Nissan makes enormous sense. If, however, you're buying with your eyes, and let's face it, almost everyone buying a coupe does, the Tigra edges ahead. It simply feels more special every time you walk towards it in the supermarket car park. And sometimes that's worth more than another few years of Japanese mechanical perfection. Final scores. Nissan 100NX. Performance, 7/10. Handling, 7/10. Comfort, 8/10. Practicality, 7/10. Reliability, 9/10. Character, 8/10. Overall, the 7th of July, 2010. Vauxhall Tigra. Performance, 8/10. Handling, the 7th of May, 2010. Comfort, 7/10. Practicality, 6/10. Style, 9/10. Value, 8/10. Advertisement. Privacy settings. Overall, the 7th of September, 2010. Winner, Vauxhall Tigra. Not because it's the better engineered car, that honor belongs to the Nissan, but because in 1995 a small coupe is bought with the heart first and the calculator second. The Tigra captures the spirit of the era perfectly. The Nissan, meanwhile, remains the sensible choice disguised as something exciting, rather like wearing trainers with a dinner jacket. It's caught here. If you like my content and feel able to, please do like it or follow my blogs, Spotify and YouTube channels or Facebook channel. It would mean and help an awful lot. Thank you. https://korg9000.wordpress.com/. Thank you for listening.